Hi there everybody in the deep dive. This is Kamal here, and obviously with Bonnie and Hudson, who you met yesterday. So we're at a freedom field near to where we both live, and we're going to do a little bit of training and work on building Hudson's confidence. So following on from yesterday, you met Hudson and you heard Bonnie just talk about some of his background and the fact that he has some challenging behaviour that we've been working on. So what we're going to do, goal for today is to continue that process of building his confidence and give you guys ideas to help you with your dogs if your dog has reactivity challenges. So we've come to a freedom field, great thing to consider. Just let me know, if you give me a thumbs up to let me know that you can hear me, anybody watching. Hopefully we've got people joining us. And we'll just give it a second to make sure that you can hear what I'm saying. Hopefully anybody, yeah, any thumbs up? Anybody, let's just check.
Everyone's watching.
Okay, we've got a couple people joining. Just give us if you can just give us either a comment or a thumbs up to let me know that you can hear me, and I'll continue, because we're just aware that being outside, the background noise isn't great. I'm in stereo.
There you go, I'm just giving you a thumbs up.
Okay, fine, okay, good, alright. So, what the plan of action, we're going to do this in 2 lives. So the first live, we're going to just work on Hudson's confidence with people, because he's definitely a little bit aware of strange people and people that he doesn't have a massive relationship with. He's met me now 4 times. Yeah, 4 times now. So I wouldn't say that we have that bond yet, or that relationship where he's entirely comfortable with me. It's coming, but we want to continue building that, because if I then add me and dogs to the equation, that's going to definitely exacerbate the problem. So when you're working with a dog that has reactivity challenges, try and consider if the dog is people and dogs that are the issue. Now, Hudson hasn't reacted to people per se, but he's definitely apprehensive and aware of different people in his environment, which is typical of the breed. So first thing we're going to do is just do a bit of work on interaction with Hudson. We're going to use the medium of play. Often when we work with dogs and behavioural problems, we tend to focus on using food, which is a way in which to train dogs, but reinforcement is all around us, and we need to be thinking sometimes laterally about the reinforcement that we use. If you noted in my living room yesterday, Hudson was chewing on a toy, and he reacted really nicely when Bonnie interacted with him with a toy, so that gave me information of which I can use to hopefully build his confidence. So if your dog isn't food motivated, play is a great medium to start to build their confidence up. You obviously, when you do this, you need somebody that understands how to play effectively with the dog, so they don't impose too much pressure. So we're going to do a bit of work on that. Then we're going to pause, and we're going to then introduce the other dogs. When we do that, we're going to put Hudson on a long line and a muzzle, as we discussed yesterday. Always have safety protocols in place. We're in a freedom field. This is a couple of acres, and it's enclosed, so plenty of space to ensure all the dogs are safe. The goal is to build on our previous session and have Hudson off the lead, or certainly not Bonnie holding onto the lead, or have him on a long line where he can be with my other dogs who will be loose. We're only going to have a couple of dogs out with him at a time and see how he goes, and see if we can build his confidence. The chances are he's going to be a little bit wary of them, but the goal is to have him just start to relax around them. That's simply, all we're aiming for. We're not looking for him to interact with them or play with them, anything like that. That's going to take a little bit more work. It's really about building his confidence, and therefore avoiding or preventing him reacting to other dogs when he sees them. All right. So first thing we're going to do is a bit of play. So just have a little game with him, Bonnie. Yeah, take off his collar. And if you play with him, you can toss the ball for him to pick up, and then throw it to me, and then I'll do some tosses to him as well. Yep, good. So ask him to release it. Good. You can switch it if you want. Good. 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 So you can see he really animates. His whole body language is changed, which is a great thing to get him happy and a little bit more optimistic. So if you tuck it to me, good boy. Good boy. So I don't try to tug with him. I just merely throw the ball, so he sees that I have the ball. He doesn't have to be in conflict with me interacting with him. I just throw the ball. So it's building up the association of me being something good for him to interact with. So here we go. I don't want to get him to grab. Good boy. Yeah. So you're still there. As I almost invited it to grab from my hand, and he definitely said to me, "No, I'm not comfortable with that." When I threw it close to my body, you could see him back away. So that's just information. I need to adjust that on the next repetition. So throw to me, and I'm going to throw away from my burpee. So he doesn't feel conflicted about coming too close to me. Okay? Do another bit. Good. So, kitty, and catch. Good. So I'm going to put a word to it, catch, which invites him to obviously to have him catch it. So Bonnie can then use this technique to build his confidence with other people. Don't move around too much, Lois. Good. So Lois, see how he's just acknowledged. Just doesn't matter. Throw the ball. Hey, get the ball. Yeah, good. Run after it. Look at it. Yeah, yeah, that's it. So he starts to lock on there because Lois is moving the camera. So we just want to create more distance and get the dog more animated on us. Yeah, good boy. Good. Good. Good boy. Good. So again, just constantly assessing the dog's information. He's definitely aware that there's another person that she hasn't met before. So throw back to me. Good. Steady. Good boy. Nice. Falling back. Good. So as soon as he gets it, Bonnie, just really get him to react, like come back to you. So as soon as he has it, up, over this way. And again, back to me. Ready. Touch. Yeah. Slight delay then. When I threw, that's going to become relevant as we move on. So I'm edging closer to the strange person. Ready. Touch. Yeah, so I've now moved it behind my back momentarily. So now the dog's having to look at me and anticipate something positive happening. Because what's happening? What he currently does is he gets weary when people make eye contact or if they give him that stare. So, catch. Nice. Good boy. Super. Play. Good. We'll do a couple more reps. Good boy. Okay. Good. Ready. Catch. Yay! Good boy. Super. As soon as he's gone, I avert eye contact. Run away. Good move. Good. As soon as I make good. Don't panic. Use your toy. Good. Yeah, take more distance. So again, we just pushed that line of where he's comfortable, so we're going to do that. Good, don't panic. Good. Good boy. Super. Good. Sit. Right, sit. Good. Play with him. Get that boy. Make it interesting. Yeah. Good. That's it. Go over here. Ready. Sorry. Good boy. So let's do a little bit of pig in the middle. So throw between you and I. Ready. Catch. Oh, Mum's got it. Back to you, back to me. Ready, steady. Get it. Whee. Good. So edge closer a bit. Good. And back again. Yeah. Back over there. Okay, this time back to him. Good play. Invite him to hug. Invite him to hug. Tug. Get that toy. Good. Try to get along the ground. That's it. Yeah. Go on. That's it. Make it around the ground. Good. Take it off him. Back to me. Back to here. Good. Ready, steady. Catch. Yeah. Good man. Play with you. Good. Tug. Good. So just discreetly pop your hand in his harness. Good. And let him just relax. Now, so I'm going to flick to your lead. Perfect. Good. So just take him on a little loop round. Give him a bit. So really nice there. We're not going to ask for any more at this stage. That was great. So he played nicely with Bonnie and I was making my body language was square on. I was looking at him, which could the dog perceive as a threat. So we got him comfortable with that. He did some play with me having the toy and exchanging it between Bonnie, which was really good. So now what we'll do is just have him in a settle or a lie down. So take it a little bit more further away. Yeah, to break him off and just have him, because we don't want to push that line of where he's comfortable. Yeah, perfect. Hold it down. Good. So feed him a treat. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to walk up to him and walk around him. Bonnie's going to intermittently feed. So feed him. Good. Boy. So I'm going to walk again. Feed him. Good. So we're taking the opportunity for him to make the wrong decision. We're giving him a little job to do. Okay, so in a second, what I would say is break him off and play with him with the toy. Good. Make sure he just put lower back and sit down, because that was me moving behind him. I think he's got some treat. So lower back. That's okay. Ready, down. Good. Help him. No. Good. So same as we did yesterday in my living room. Put him back in a control position. Take the emphasis of the dog making inappropriate choices. Now release him and play with him. Yeah! Good lad. And game. Have a little game. Quick. Work at that play. That's it. Get that toy. Come on. You can. That's it. Rub his body with it. Tickle him, pat him. Be a little bit more physical. That's it. Good. Be more tactile with him. Tap his shoulder. Go on. That's it. Rub his thumb. Yeah. So get all the heebie-jeebies out of him. Perfect. Good. Now ask him to pick the lead up. Ask him to down again. Help him. And again, show him what you want, make sure you're consistent. Good boy, wait. Good. So what often can happen when you use food is the food lowers the dog's arousal. Sometimes we want a level of focus. We want the dog more focused than the handler. So food is a great thing to subdue that, but sometimes that can go against you. So we want to constantly balance what the dog is thinking and utilising the reinforcement that's going to work in the environment. So we're using his toy play to build his confidence up around people. So I'm going to edge closer. I'm going to get a little bit closer. I'm going to walk over that way, Bonnie. As soon as I pass him or reach his shoulder, you break him off your play. Break off the play. Okay. Hudson, that's it. Good. Nice. Get that toy. Good. That's it. Rub his shoulder, be a bit more physical with him. That's it. Go on, get that toy. Go on, get that toy. That's it. Good boy. Right in the air. Wait, what's this? Right up in the air. Oh, good. That's it. Good. Okay, ask him to take it off him. Good. Like to lie down. Lower him into down. Good. Lovely. Good boy. Okay. Good. All right. So when you're working with dogs reactivity challenges, the key thing is to quit while you're ahead. So I've applied some pressure to the dog. I've walked into his personal space. He's had a second person moving around. He had a little woof. We got him back on side. He's now gone back to a happier state of mind. The dog is less aware of his environment. He's more in tune with Bonnie now. So now we're going to move on. So what we're going to do now is we're not going to emphasize, we're going to bring dogs into the equation. So the game plan will now be we're going to put him in a muzzle, which Bonnie has, I think, on the side, and a long line, and we're going to do some dog work. So we're going to go backwards now, because obviously the limitation is that we can't use a toy with him. So we need to be thinking about using our food to build up that association. But additionally, the other thing that we want to do is let him figure out that dogs aren't anything to be concerned about, which is definitely something that he feels at present. So a couple of minutes, little break. We're going to pause for a second. We're going to stop the live. We're going to regroup. We're going to get the dogs out, get his harness on, get his long line on, get his muzzle on, and we're going to go again. All right, so we see you in shortly, everyone. Good boy, that was good.